studies for sure. Holy guacamole. Hold on. I just gotta change my stream settings. Oh man, I be feeling like I'm Superman. Bro,
with the with the stream settings.
no, like with life. Like I went
Live.
like I went to sleep at like 5 a.m. this morning. Like I didn't go to sleep till like 5 a.m. I can't do this anymore, bro. I'm getting old. I'm getting really old, bro. I can't do this
Bro,
anymore.
bro, I'm like a kid without sleep, bro. Like start getting cranky and shit, bro.
Bro, I feel you, bro.
Nigga,
This
what?
morning that was me.
Oh my gosh, irritated all day, bro. That shit is
Yeah.
terrible, bro. I'm like, bro, life isn't worth living right now, bro. I need sleep, bro.
Yes, I agree with you, brother. I agree because like,
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
Shout
it's
out to
not
you,
it's not
bro. You're
even
making that
worth it.
shit
It's
work.
like I don't do it often, but sometimes I have no choice but to do that.
That makes
Um,
sense. Yeah.
oh, hold up. And I got home, started cooking, done
Mm,
cooking. Now we hopping on stream,
damn. Didn't
but it's
even
good
get
though.
to enjoy the food.
I didn't even get to enjoy the food. That's facts. But that's okay.
Damn,
I'm okay
bro.
with that. I ate like 3 mangoes while I was cooking, so I just be eating random stuff, bro.
They're funny, bro.
Look, YouTube just went live. Welcome
Grr.
back. Brrr. Boom, 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 boom. Um, sheesh, what are we doing here? What's the goal? What's the news? I started. I like firstly. I know I started doing a building a business live. I only did one episode. And the purpose was to provide real world experiences that I'm currently learning or real world things that I'm currently going through. And I presented it with the mindset of, you know, Alex Hormozy. He's great. He has great content, he provides great insight, but I feel like it doesn't apply to me. That's not where I'm at. A lot of it is, I don't say generic, but it's templated. Like, and for me personally, it doesn't really apply. Like, of course, some of it I can mold it to fit what I have going on, which I think is what you're supposed to do. But I think just the thought process of why certain things was done is important to me. And for example, one of the first videos that I did, I went over, you know, like what businesses I'm targeting and why, what platforms I'm using and why, what's my goals, like what are the steps that I'm doing, and even down to like, okay, I have to build my website and why, like I'm making changes to the website and why, things like that. So I know you're building your business. I wanted to get some understanding, on some of the things that you are doing and why. That's basically it.
Beautiful.
That's basically it. I want to make this
Let me say, you a little like
to the side.
kind of off to
Yeah,
the
I'm about to
side.
fix that
Yeah, a
right
little bit.
now.
Say less, say
So
less.
if you want,
Oh,
if
there
you
you go. You quick with
want,
it. Oh, you was doing it as I was saying. Oh shit, my
yeah,
fault.
if you want to, introduce yourself, what I'm saying, like who you are, what your
Right,
business
right, right.
is, and why would somebody
Yes,
watch and
sir.
care?
Absolutely. So I'm B Rich out of Broward County, Miami-Dade. Um, you said my name and what I do.
Yeah, what your business is about, what's the name of your business?
Right. Right. So I'm like a brand strategist. I'm getting into the consulting area. Really helping people communicate and clarify what it is that they're doing in business, and then showing their audience why it matters, right? I believe all businesses they have their backstories, and that's what really makes something unique on social media. So yeah, a bunch of people do hair, a bunch of people do nails, a bunch of people do roofing, carpeting, whatever. Why is it that I'm going to you for that thing, right? So there's always a story behind it, and yeah, it's just me, not necessarily under a company name as of yet. I got a bunch of company names I could go under, but yeah, it's just me, my personal brand right now, and yeah, just doing the thing with other people.
That's nice. So let me ask you, why or what, and like because I know you personally, like but what made you want to go down that line of business as far as like this is my lane, this is where I'm at, or this is the next avenue. Like, what was your train of thoughts when you were starting this thing?
No, that's a great question. Yeah, so similar to what you're saying in terms of, to give a little bit backstory as well. Exactly what you're saying is this is my avenue, my current avenue, because I've definitely done a lot of other things in the entrepreneurial world. You see what I'm saying? And this is a pivot. But I feel like this was one of those things that I've always tried to get back to and couldn't 100% figure out how. And so all of my other experiences have definitely, led up to this, to give me the knowledge and everything. But I think that it goes back to a girl. I always say that in my stories. You see what I'm saying? It goes
Right.
back to a girl, to where, I met somebody online, and, basically I was her strategist. You see what I'm saying? I was like, yo, you have X amount of followers on Twitter, freaking 20, 30, 40K, some crazy number. Back then, right? 10, 15 years ago, that's 100,000. That's like a million now. You see what I'm saying? But
Right.
I say, yo, you got all these followers on Twitter, and you have a talent, which was drawing. She was really good at drawing fine art, very good penmanship, all that good stuff. And so I said, why don't you kind of combine those two things, right? People like you for you, but also they're gonna like you for your stuff as well, and they're going to eventually buy. And so yeah, that was my very first time understanding that. That was me at 15 years old, you know what I'm saying? Putting pieces together, connecting the dots, and saying, hey, okay, this makes sense for you. She went ahead, she did it, posted her stuff. It went viral. She had a freaking BuzzFeed article within the year. Um, and yeah, you know what I'm saying? She made some good money off of it. Eventually she slowed down, kind of fell off. And good thing for my story is that she's my wife now. And so yeah. So yeah, so now, we get to pick up where we left off. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on right there.
That's what's up. So, in that line, that's what got you started into the marketing realm. Like, that's what inspired you to start the business that you're at now. Like, I know
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
like if we're rolling back, let's talk about experiences um, that led you to the current path. Like, I know you've done other businesses, right? Before where you're at, and if you want to, let's divulge into some successes and failures of the past that has led you, toward this new route.
That's a good one. So yeah, so I've always been on an entrepreneurial route, since, what I'm saying, high school. I had a 2 year hiatus, for, religious reasons at that time. But ever since I came back from that, I said, hey, entrepreneur, I'm gonna try things out. You see what I'm saying? So I started off with like wholesaling real estate, tried that. I went over to selling sneakers. And during the time I was selling sneakers, I also hosted a podcast as well. So I would, I had a three, four, five guests, maybe more. I probably had more, but I probably posted like five of them, maybe. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like interviewing other people who was having motion, and especially in the creative world, and you know what I'm saying, doing their thing, like Kayla Perilla, in the fashion world, SB Studios in the fashion world, a couple other people. And so yeah, so I was doing that, selling shoes, and then doing my podcast, kind of sort of at the same time. And then I moved from that to car rentals. I was doing a car rental business, and then I moved from that to having my own studio in Miami, a creative studio where people could, come through and take videos, pictures, this, that, also events as well, all of that good stuff. And so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of my path. And again, every time I did something, I always said to myself, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this, get a little bit of money, and then turn around and figure out the route that I want actually, because again, like know what it is, but it was very hard to communicate what it really was. So I'm right now in that area of, okay, this is how you say it, this is how you communicate, this is how you get the clients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But going on to what you were saying in terms of experience and how that really shaped me, the biggest thing that, and you can ask more questions in detail as well, but the number one thing I saw in doing all of these businesses was the fact that no matter what you're doing, number one, you have to have a good, solid business structure behind you. So that's very important. But when it comes to marketing, when it comes to scaling, when it comes to making something bigger or getting more clients, especially on social media and just being social in general, the rules are the same. You see what I'm saying? The techniques might be different, the strategy might be different, but the rules of the internet are the rules of the internet, and that's something that I've always studied. I've always paid attention to, and in each business that I've done, I've tried my best to, I don't want to say try my best, but sometimes, you think you can go against the grain, you think you know better, you think you can do something else. I've always found myself coming back to that point of, hey, you have to market a very specific way regardless of what business you have. So yeah, that's the number one thing that really led me to saying, fuck it, let me just, well, sorry, I don't know if I could cuss, but you know what I'm saying, let me
You can
just
cuss.
dive in, let me just double down on that side.
Just be yourself. If cussing is it, then fuck
Okay.
it.
If it's fuck it, then fuck it.
Fuck
You feel me?
it. Let me ask you, like, I haven't built all these businesses. Like, what's just one success or one thing that you've learned? One of the biggest things that you learned from either a success or failure.
Aside from the one that I just, because I feel like that's the biggest one. The biggest
Like,
one is that when you get into the field, whatever business you want to choose, is that that marketing is the same principles. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to scaling your business, same principles. It's
so the
gonna be the
biggest,
same.
so you would say the biggest thing you've learned over the course of all these businesses is that marketing, no matter what business you're building, you got to market.
100%.
Do you have
100%.
like
And there's again,
any?
there's different ways.
Go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say there's different ways to market. You see what I'm saying? There's guerrilla marketing. You know what I'm saying? You can go out and put flyers out, and you could do this and you could do that. There's a lot of different ways to market it in 2026. You know what I'm saying? Social media and being social in general, social is the way to go. And yeah, those principles are the same regardless of the business.
Yeah, I mean that's the question I was gonna ask. Like, in marketing, that's not really my realm. Like, if somebody was, I know we're gonna get more into the crux of what we're actually doing in business wise, but as a side conversation, when you're speaking of marketing, what's one thing that you're seeing over and over and over in all these businesses that you've built? Like, I know you say you have to market differently, but I'm sure, there's at least one or two things that remain constant, no matter like, what industry you're in.
It always helps to just like the thing about okay, yeah. The thing about marketing is knowing what you're doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Being about that thing. It's very hard to fake the funk. It's very hard to make these things up and then try to come on again. Some people are just good at lying. You see what I'm saying? And that's another subject. I am not. You know what I'm saying? So when I get myself ready to be on camera, it helps to know what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Because then there's no preparation needed. There's no extra steps on the back end. There's nothing that I need except for the general knowledge of whatever business I'm doing to share that. You see what I'm saying? And so that's number one. So again, when I was doing my cars, I didn't know so much about cars and rentals and this and this and that. So it was hard to go ahead and tell somebody, hey, this is the reason you should rent this car. I didn't know too much about, you know what I'm saying, my clientele and asking, I had to ask myself, well, who is it that's going to rent the car? That's going to be a good client. You see what I'm saying? Take
Right.
care of my car, do this, do that, da da da. Da. So I have to know about them, and then I have to know how to speak to them. You see what I'm saying? And so that's it. Number one is knowing your business.
That's the one thing I mean, I think I suffer from some of the same thing. Um, and the question I'm gonna ask after the end of the sentence is, have you pivoted, or is there a need to pivot to, like, okay, I don't have all the information, but I'm still gonna go with it? Because I think I suffer from some of the same thing, like where I won't put a video out or I won't stream and talk about a certain topic unless I can riff off the top of my head and I know the subject well and I have, like, opinions. But I've done some little research about it, and even for scripting, like for YouTube videos, right? I used to not want to write a script because I want to know the subject so well that I can talk about it for hours. But most of the big YouTubers write scripts. They does scripting. Like, do you see a need for you, like, okay, maybe I don't understand the car marketplace yet, or I don't understand the cars yet, the model and engine and whatnot. Do you see there's a place for you to do research, even though if you don't know it, for you to like research and you just run off of a script, like a written script?
I would say yeah, because that then goes into the area of again how you're coming across. Like I said, some people know how to fake the funk. You see what I'm saying? Um, and some people are good at talking. You see what I'm saying with people, that back and forth, that interaction. And so again, that's another major and big important thing when it comes to marketing is that you have to understand who it is that you're talking to. You see what I'm saying? So it helps to know what you're talking about. Cool. But then you have to know who you're talking to. Because when you're talking to a specific person, you're going to speak to them a very specific way. You see what I'm saying? The way that I speak to you is not the same exact way that I speak to my mother. You see what I'm saying? Or this person, that person, whatever the case may be. And even us having this conversation right now, the way that we are speaking is a little bit different than we would off camera, is because, again, it's going towards a specific audience.
Right.
And so that would probably be, the thing that follows, maybe right behind, maybe they're neck and neck. And maybe one of those can kind of take over the other one. You see what I'm saying? Like if you know so much about your stuff and you're not so good with people, then you can kind of wash over by just being so knowledgeable about your stuff. Or if you know how to talk to people and you're really good at that, but you know what I'm saying, you kind of sort of know your stuff, you might have to go and research, da, da, da. Then again, being a people person, and knowing how to communicate properly, that on the camera, through the camera, that can sometimes overwash, or overshadow, you know what I'm saying, not knowing all of your stuff. And so that's it, you know what I'm saying? Again, like that confidence, that stepping into a room, shaking a hand and being calm, but boom, with a camera. And the person on the other side, they could hear you say, yo, I don't know everything, but let me tell you what I do know. And again, they like you. That's the biggest thing, is why am I listening to this person? Well, I like them. I like what they say. I like how they come across. I like XYZ. So
That's dope. Let's pivot into what you're currently got going on. What would you classify the phases of your business at? What phase would you say you're currently at?
I'm at ground zero right now, brother. I'm there's a part in a business where it's like you have to prove your worth. And so I'm in that phase. You see what I'm saying? So, everybody can start off with, everybody, I feel like, has to start off with something for free or something discounted. You see what I'm saying? You have to show the person that you know what you're talking about, that you know what you're doing. And again, they have to like who you are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing some cold DMs to some local businesses that are running ads, specifically that. And I'm saying, hey, listen, I will give you a free brief as to what I'm seeing in your business. You see what I'm saying? Or what I'm seeing on your page, right? You already got your business rolling and you've been doing these little nice things with your page. But it would be nice to, have a story behind it. It would be nice to, connect a little bit deeper with the people. It'd be nice to have a community on your page, whatever the case may be. Everybody's a little bit different, but that's it. So I go in, share a small brief, 5 pages maybe, and that's including the intro and the outro, so like 3 pages of information, and that's me showing a little bit of something, and that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. I know this is, we don't have to divulge into it too much because it's personal business. Like, I know you have a lot of experience in reaching out, cold DMs and whatnot. If you were, somebody who's starting, because I think this whole series, I want it to be like somebody starting a business and they don't have, their mother wasn't an entrepreneur, their dad is an entrepreneur, what I'm saying? They're just hitting the ground running for themselves. If somebody was starting a business now and they were doing cold email or cold DMs, where would they start? Where would you suggest that they start? Or how would they start?
I mean, just starting is always the best thing. If you don't know where to start, then don't let that stop you from doing something. But sometimes you can get fatigued by, you see what I'm saying, running and not knowing where you're going. So there's a bit of a balance there. But to answer your question directly, I think when it comes to cold calls, cold DMing, whatever the case may be, where you want to start is again knowing your who you're speaking to and why you want to speak to them. You see what I'm saying? So for me right now, like I said, I kind of picked people who are running ads, and I picked those people because they to clearly have some type of budget for marketing. You see what I'm saying? So now every business might classify that a little bit different, but you see what I'm saying? They're putting money into ads, so they have money to spend. So me, I come in, I'm saying, hey, not necessarily mentioning the fact that they're doing that or not, but saying, hey, listen, I can get you more organic eyes just through content and just through the structures that you already have. And so, you know what I'm saying? They have a little bit of motion. They have this, they have that. We're talking about it earlier today. When I was doing my religious studies for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? I was gone, and we would always want to look for what we would call the golden investigator. That's somebody who, has humbled themselves before God and they're ready to, accept the gospel. And so that's in those terms, right? But in business terms, again, we need somebody who is knowing that they have a problem, they see the friction, they just don't know how to fix it. And so when you come in, you are the solution to that issue that has been bothering them for so long. You see what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. So when you, I mean, it's hard. I don't want to bombard everything with a question, but I know it's hard sometimes when you're like doing anything cold, like any cold email, cold calling. Like, how do you keep yourself going when there are rejections? Or how do you like navigate rejections? Or like, how do you track any of it to reflect and redo and redone? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
So
how
that
do you
last part
go?
a little bit different.
Yeah, how do you go back to the drawing board? Like, okay, I've sent 100 emails, I've not gotten a single reply back. How do you go back and say, okay, something is not working? Or do you think it's just, you just need more numbers? Like you just need 100 more? Do you have a number
Right.
where it's like, okay, I need to redo this?
That's a good question. I would say 100, 200, somewhere in there is a good indication of something. And there's a lot of different factors in which, you see what I'm saying? You'll see. But the biggest thing I want to say, you know what I'm saying, to kind of take a step off of your question, but to, you know what I'm saying, make sure we're covering those what's the word? That context is that a lot of people, me myself included, we don't get to the 100. So that's the
Right.
biggest thing. You see what I'm saying? We will do 30. You see what I'm saying? We'll do 27, we'll do 22. You see what I'm saying? We're like, damn, like I got nothing off of 22. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's where, like you said, the big guys, the Gary V's and the Harmozis, that's where you do want to listen in that particular area. Is that, well, how many did you really reach out? Come through and look at this page and what's the effort that you really put in the first place. And now if you say, okay, I hit 100 up, then yes, that's a good checkpoint to say, okay, let me stop. Let me see what it is that I'm doing because something's wrong. Because to reach out to 100 people and get, well, what would your question be? Like, you got no reply, or you got, you know what I'm saying, you didn't get a yes, or, you know what I'm saying? It just, it depends as well.
I mean, even for both, like if I mean, I guess if you do get a reply, it's working. I guess the other portion is you converting them is not working.
Right.
And I mean,
Right.
in your marketing system or in marketing in general, are you designing both together, like your cold outreach and your closing system? Like, are those like same thing kind of, or like they're different? Do you separate them?
You have to I would say you separate. I would say you separate them because the same thing that gets somebody interested isn't 100% the same thing that will close the deal. So okay, they're interested, but you know what I'm saying, you might again fumble over your words, or you might say something that offends them or that doesn't resonate with them, and you're not gonna close that deal. You see what I'm saying? So definitely, and that's where I'm at as well, right? Is kind of working on that funnel as I go along. And I'm definitely at the point of, okay, let's see what happens when the deal closes, right? Because I've reached out to a few people on Instagram and I've gotten some yeses, gotten some nos, gotten a lot of ignores. And so, you know, I got one yes. I went ahead and, you know, tried to close the deal, and, you know what I'm saying, they ended up saying no. But I think to myself, okay, well, what would have made them say no to that deal closing when they said yes to wanting to hear me out in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So now I have to tweak that part of that funnel. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like the opening of my funnel is decent right now. I don't have big enough problems to say, damn, I need to fix this now. It's okay. It's working decent. But yeah, definitely it's you know, it's separate. It's definitely separate.
Can we talk about offerings? Like, what are you specifically offering? I mean, I know you're reaching out to these businesses, right? Like, if I was to come to you and I was like, hey, I need marketing, what exactly are you offering? Is there a specific type of marketing you're offering? Is it strictly social media? Or are you offering you know what I'm saying, like boots on the ground? Like, how much
Mhm.
can you do? And
No.
and do you also have a business? Like, I don't personally have a business plan that I wrote out, but I know my target audience. Do you have like a target audience, or is it just any business that's on social media in general?
Um, So the first or the second question that you asked, my target audience,
Mm.
definitely, you know, I have a few industries that, you know, I like, and I'm going kind of sort of towards, you know, the fitness industry is great. Um, you know, I'm not sure how to classify this, but you know, there's businesses that sell toys, or you know, cards and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's very much like, you know, I'm on the social media already, and I'm checking and I'm looking and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and again, I'm seeing like the most potential that somebody can have to really grow and expand their brand, right? And so a lot of my stuff that I'm currently doing is a lot of personal branding, or a little bit of mix of personal branding and, you know what I'm saying, company and this and that, right? I'm definitely gonna have a few tips and tricks in the other world, but yeah, you know what I'm saying, my like prime ideal person is going to want to be on the camera, you know what I'm saying, talking to the audience, doing this, doing that, showing other things as well. But yeah, and so yeah, to go back, I'm hoping that I'm answering your question the right way, but yeah, you know what I'm saying, the type of marketing that I'm doing, like you said, definitely not necessarily guerrilla or boots on the ground or anything like that. Again, it's very social media based. It's very Instagram focused. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna be a little bit different. We could stretch out to YouTube. We could stretch out to TikTok. We could stretch out to LinkedIn. Every business is gonna be a little bit different. Every person is going to be a little bit different, but Instagram is definitely that home base where we want to focus in on, lock in there, and again, build some type of personal brand or, something to where the people can relate to you a little bit more because of your story and how you're coming across. I feel like there was another thing you asked that I'm not hitting on,
from
but
the
let me
from the
know.
start. I don't remember
Yeah.
what I asked neither. But either way, let's move on
Okay.
to that. Instagram. Why specifically IG?
Instagram's just for me, I mean, again, like talking about people and then talking about myself, sometimes you yourself, you have to know where your niche is, right? So if somebody is good at YouTube marketing, then stay there. You see what I'm saying? Do that, crush it, go crazy. For me, I feel like I can crush Instagram marketing because I'm more so paying attention to what's going on there, the trends, you know what I'm saying, the how reels are moving, how the trial reels are moving, what's getting the attention, you know what I'm saying? And for me, I feel like most people, at least in my age group,
Speak the
they're
language.
on Instagram more than anything else. What were you saying?
You feel like you speak the language of Instagram more.
I speak the language of Instagram absolutely the most. YouTube is a close second. But yeah, but definitely. But YouTube, the thing is that requires a little bit more for the language that I speak, that requires more work on the person on the other end. And so you never know who's ready to get into YouTube. You see what I'm saying? How do you find somebody who's saying, "Yeah, I want to get into YouTube, but I can't." Da, da, da. Like, and then if their page isn't really working, then what is it that I can really say to, you know, up it or whatever the case may be? That's when we get into analytics of YouTube and a hook and this and that. And you know what I'm saying? Again, that's not necessarily where I'm at with it is I'm at a place of just being consistent, showing your face, having your business on the top of your clients' minds at all times so that when they're ready to purchase, they're going to go with you because you're always there. Or again, you resonate with them so much, they're going to go with you because they love you, whatever the case may be. And yeah, I don't know if people go from YouTube to go buy. It feels like, you know what I'm saying? You're just watching. Instagram you be watching too. Anyway, yeah, yeah. The language. That's where I'm at.
All right, this is more like walk me through like you know me. Let's just talk about me. You know me. Walk me through like what you do for a client. Like I know right now you're cold emailing, right? The cold email works. Somebody say, "Hey, okay, sure. I know you're offering these mappings or these brand maps or you're trying to increase my brand value." Walk me through what that actually means and what that actually looks like.
That's a good question. So I'll tell you the because you did ask this question. I'm remembering it back. So cool. So step one would be, like you said, the mind map or the brief. And that is, like I said, a 5 page, just little document, slideshow, whatever the case may be. And that's going to show you, where you are currently and how you're being perceived, the good things that you got going on, and maybe the not so much. And then the next page is going to be more so the small tweaks that you can do to really make a big difference. You see what I'm saying? So hey, if post like this, if you post these type of reels, if you this, if you that, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? I'm really judging the brief off of what I'm seeing, and it's not an interview yet. You see what I'm saying? You might have different plans, which is cool, but I'm just gonna tell you, hey, if you just do these little things, I'll make a big difference. And so I'll go with the smaller things. And then I have a page where it's like the extra mile. So it's like, okay, cool. This is utilizing what I perceive to be the time that you're already using, right? That's going to be that first slide, right? Without taking too much more of your time, do this and it'll make a big difference. And then the extra mile is here's where you can actually go to the extra mile. And that's actually where I do and could mention, you know what I'm saying? Hey, YouTube videos would really go great for you. You see what I'm saying? That's where I mentioned, hey, if you create a series, this would be good, this, that, whatever the case may be, right? A little bit more of my opinion on how your business, your framing would stretch out. And then, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then I kind of just close it off. I'm saying, hey, look, if you enjoy, you know what I'm saying, what's going on here, you like the thinking, you know, let's get on a call. And let's talk a little bit more. From that point, I'm gonna kind of lead you towards a full playbook. And so at some point, you know, breaking down what that would look like, right? A full playbook would be more so 10 to 15 pages. And that's where I'm going to need a lot more information, right? The information being where do you want to go? What are you willing to do about it? You see what I'm saying? What type of time do you have? What type of brand do you want to be? What is the you know, perception that you really want to have, and the impression that you want on, you know, your people's minds, whatever the case may be. And so, you know, we're gonna work a little bit with that. And then how to convert as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play with that a little bit, right? Again, the best person that I'm looking for is somebody who has their business down pat, so they already have a way to pay them, right? I'm not the person who's going to necessarily teach you how to get paid, right? You already know what your steps are to close a deal. I'm just going to bring you more people in front of, you know,
To close.
in front of you to be able to close that. And so, yeah, that's what the playbook looks like. That's where we get into that a little bit deeper. And then the next step could be up to the individual. Because the playbook, it'll be like, here you go. And if you're, I don't want to say witty enough, but if you're, you know, good enough with the social media and the this, the that, you're going to be able to look at it, apply it, you know what I'm saying, do a weekly this, that. It does come with a weekly or like a 30 to 60 day content calendar as well. And so, yeah, boom, you can easily execute those things yourself if you are in that realm. Or if you're like, listen, you know what I'm saying, I would really love to get on the phone with you once a week. And you know what I'm saying, you let me know, hey, okay, this is going well, this is going well. You know, you kind of dropped the ball over here. You know what I'm saying, just to make sure we're all on the same page. Then that would kind of be the next step above that. And then I think maybe the last, again, this is where I'm figuring those out. I want to make sure I get to step one. You see what I'm saying? But another step, and where I would kind of cap it off, is kind of like if somebody wants to work on a very specific campaign, right? So they have a 3 month thing that they're trying to do. They have something that they're trying to release, whatever the case may be. And again, we dive into that very specific thing a little bit deeper. So yeah, those are kind of like the services, and that's the funnel in which people are going through.
So the plan that you provide, the business owners with, I assume it's up to them to execute it. Like you're providing them with the, I guess in terms of sports, you're just providing them with the plays. You're not really executing it. You're the coach. You're not playing on the field. You're providing them with, you know, with the route and the instructions. Is that correct? Is that
Absolutely. That's
okay?
that's you know, when we get to to paying me, that's my first option, right? And the cheapest option, which is here's a playbook. Exactly what you said. Here are the plays. This is the playbook. Go outside, go run the routes. Because again, you're close and you're already going down that lane, but you might need some tweaks to really, you know, tell your story the right way. You see what I'm saying? And then the next step would be more so an execution. It wouldn't be necessarily me executing. You see what I'm saying? But if you want to make sure that you have the right person for the videos that you're making, right? Or the photography or this, that, da, da, da. Again, somebody to sit there and counsel and coach you through XYZ, the things that you're doing, then that would be the next step. But yeah, definitely, I'm not necessarily the executor, but I can get you in front of the executors for sure. You know what I mean?
I know I know we spoke about this before, but like for most people, like most business owners, right? When they're thinking about their investment, they're always thinking about ROIs, which is something I just faced, which you know about. Like people, like business
Yeah.
owners, like my first deal, well, I don't want to say fell through. My first deal didn't happen because of ROI. They are concerned about they have concern about have if they spend X amount of money, how they're gonna get that return back. How do you when you are talking to a business, right, and you're saying, okay, I'm just a coach, I'm gonna throw you the plays and you're gonna have to execute them yourself. How do you justify an ROI to them? Like, have you ever faced that rejection yet? Like where somebody say, hey, what's the ROI? When am I gonna get my money back for investing this money with you?
No, that's a great question. I haven't gotten to that point of them asking that question. And so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That is a really a conversation of perceived value. You see what I'm saying? At that point that somebody's asking, what's the ROI? I'm not even sure if this person would 100% be, the perfect client for me. Again, if they're saying it in more, I don't want to say derogatory, but you know what I'm saying, in a way of being so skeptical, then it's like, okay, well, I'm not sure if you understand the ROI of social media, of being good at social media, of getting more eyes on your page. You see what I'm saying? I can't close the deal for you. You see what I'm saying? That's not necessarily the job, right?
I can
That's not the
convince
job
you.
that I'm promising to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, there's deal closers out there, and you pay them for that, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not necessarily the deal closer. I am the person who is going to again get you more organic eyes, and if that doesn't have an ROI for you in your business, then again, we just might not be compatible, and that's fine. You see what I'm saying? But again, if somebody says, hey, I can see that when I have these type of eyes on me, I close this many deals. And so it would be great if I had 1,000 eyes a month as opposed to 100 eyes a month. And that's something that again is a friction for you. Now we are somebody who, we are a compatible pair. Um, so yeah, I hope that answers your question.
It does make. I mean, it does make sense. I think in business as well, like which we talked about, which I haven't talked about, like my rejections, like talking about like ROI and we're not ready and we don't think we're ready to invest that kind of money, so forth and so on. Um, Sometimes it's like you can fire the client. Like you don't have to take on every dollar. Like some
Yeah.
business is not worth, what I'm saying, the
Yeah.
pursuit. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just gotta like, okay, let them be somebody else's problem. Like and you just gotta keep it
Yeah.
moving.
And I think you're in that same type of, area where it's like if they don't see the return on, what they're getting, then they're not for you. And again, then that kind of takes you into another area of who is my clientele. You see what I'm saying? My clients may not be the small businesses. You see what I'm saying? Like you might have to be a level or two up, you know what I'm saying, to really see, or maybe it's a small business, but they're doing the social.
Mid.
And again, they understand the game of social and they just wish that they were a little bit or getting more.
Bigger.
And why is my Instagram shadow banned? Why is it stuck at 200? Why is this? Why is that? Whatever the case may be. And so, yeah, it's a very particular person that's going to really understand that. And yeah, it's not everybody, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? As a business, every business, any business, you can. Again, I mean, think about car rentals. You know what I'm saying? Like people are gonna ask, well, why would I go to you instead of Hertz? That's great. If that's how you feel, then I'm not the person for you. I'm for the person who's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Hertz and me don't get along. Or that's one side. Or the next side is Why would I go to Hertz and get a Ford? I want a Lamborghini. You see what I'm saying? Like I want a
Right.
Mercedes. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like so again, everybody's gonna have a different story, and that's sometimes the hardest part is really finding that person because you might know what you want to do as a business owner. You see what I'm saying? You know what your talent is, you know how to put this and that together. But how do I find the right person that's going to understand that I am valuable? And you just got to keep pushing it until you find that. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Obviously, I ain't make it all the way yet, and we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the year, you know what I'm saying? If that's how it
If it
works, you feel
comes.
me? But I think that's how it works. Yeah,
But we're
yeah.
gonna keep rubbing it either way. But hear me out.
That's it.
What what was your first? Give me your first two moves and your next two moves. Well, like when you first started the business, what was your first two things that you was like, I need to get these two things out the way? And then what's your next two things that you're like, I need in order for me to see my goal at the end of the year that I know you have a goal for the end of the year. What's the next two moves that you can do to make sure that that goal is possible?
That's good. That's good. That's good. First two moves. Damn, two of them.
Oh, one. Oh,
Um,
one. Let's
I
do one.
know. I, I know a big one is clarification. That's huge. Again, I had to clarify what is my value. Why is this valuable? Who and then who is it valuable to? Exactly what I just said to you.
Mhm.
Why is this valuable and who is it valuable to?
Keep
And you
talking.
know what
Let
I'm
me grab
saying?
a snack.
Sometimes that can okay, keep going.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So why is this valuable and who is this valuable to? Yeah, those are the first few moves, and you really have to sit down and transparently. I use a lot of Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's the water situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We switched to
Shit is cooked.
Gemini
Don't
or
worry about
something.
it.
I don't know, brother, but I'm on there. I'm on there. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, dropping my head because yeah, the words it's so hard sometimes. A lot of times, my whole life I feel like it's been hard to really quantify and qualify and I don't even know if those are the words. Finding the words, right? It's hard to find the words. It's hard to find the words as to what it is that you're doing and what it is that the value that you have when the value is here. You see what I'm saying? It's easier for somebody who draws. It's easier for somebody who picks up a camera, whatever the case
Like
may be.
how you
For
communicate your value to the business, basically, to the businesses that you're contacting.
exactly, exactly. So you have to know that for yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that's the first one. And yeah, yeah, that's the first two things is for yourself and then how you communicate it to the business. And then my next two moves. What are my next two moves? I think just making sure that I hit a certain amount of numbers in my reach out. See what I'm saying? Whether it be 200. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I hit a high number. I haven't necessarily looked back and checked. I feel like I've hit a few people up, and again, my technique is very specific as to how I'm like finessing. You know what I'm saying? A little bit into sliding into the DMs is a very specific little. You feel me? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's it. Like just making sure I hit those numbers. And then I need to pay attention to how I'm closing the deal, right? So now when I'm telling somebody, hey, this is what I can do for you and blah, 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 and I'm getting kind of towards the end and they're like, okay, this is sounding good. How do I transition, the brief or the mini plays to okay, here's a full playbook. This is the paid version. This is this that whatever the case may be. So that's it. Just paying attention to those things are very important for me right now.
I think that's one of my reflecting back on the first deal. One of the things that I learned is I need to tone down my honesty. I think on the
Mm,
first call that I put too much emphasis on, hey, I am building you this thing, I am building you this program, and this program is not perfect because your environment will change, and the program will break and the program will need to be tweaked. I am saying that upfront because I thought honesty is the best policy. But sometimes it's
Okay.
not like you, based on my reflection and based on my research, I don't. That doesn't mean you have to be dishonest. You just don't have to disclose that upfront. Like
Mm,
after you know after we've agreed to build this proposal and build whatever, then comes the steps of, hey, by
yes.
the way, this process needs constant maintenance, and
This is how it work.
yes, and
Yeah.
those things are just from learned experience. Like I don't think you just learn them. Like what I'm saying. Like I don't think you get that from watching Alex
Yeah.
Mosey. To be honest, like what I'm saying. Like nothing
Right.
on
Right.
him. Like but he's the only person that I can pick on. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right. Yeah, exactly what you're saying. It's very templated. And again, there's a lot of good things that you can get, but you can't sit there, just watch him and you know what I'm saying, know exactly what to do. At the end of the day, you got to get into the field. And like you said, it's not a diss on him. I believe that he says the same thing. Him and Gary Vee and whoever, you see what I'm saying, that are legitimate people or, as legit as you can get.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I believe that they say the same thing as, yo, get in the field and fail fast. You see what I'm saying? That's something that David Shands, that's my other guy, you know what I'm saying? That's what he says. He says fail fast, fail as fast as you can so that you can learn everything that you need to know and then you see what I'm saying, move on. And so that's the hardest part though, is because you're scared. You're very scared to fail. You're very scared to, you know what I'm saying, get so far with somebody and they tell you, nah, I'm okay. This doesn't make sense for me. And you're like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? That shit hurt my feelings, boy. That shit hurt my
I
soul.
swear.
Like, what the you know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
here's the other thing, bro. Like when I think about failing fast, like this is my own problem. Like I be thinking like, yeah, sure, but what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does fail fast really look like? What are the steps that I have to take to fail fast? Because failing fast has different definitions based on who you're asking.
Okay. So
You know
let
what I'm
me hear
saying?
some
Because
some different definitions that you would apply to fail fast.
I think it's based on the business that you're running. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe my focus, failing fast for me personally right now, is uploading content. Like uploading content based on like processes, like build automation scripts and stuff like that. Failing fast, quick, uploading those quick, getting people to know, hey, I exist, I'm out here and I do this. That's failing fast for me. For somebody else, their failing fast might be, oh, let's just make cold calls. Let's start right away with that. Let's start right away with cold calls and cold emails and so forth and so on. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's a right answer, but I don't know if there's a right way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
is there a right way? Maybe there is. I just don't know. Like, maybe somebody has better experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the best way to approach your first, like, without any deals? I don't have any clients. I'm trying to get my first client. What's the best approach? Is it start cold calling today? Like, you should have been cold calling yesterday, last year. Start cold emailing,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, right now? Or is it focused on letting people know, hey, I'm out here. I do these videos. Hey, you update your website. You working on your SEO, just discovery in general. Like, what is failing fast? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you only have so much resources. Like, I know I do. I'm fucking exhausted. like,
Right.
like, where do you spend that
Absolutely.
energy? You know what I'm
That
saying?
right. No, and all of those are good questions, and that's it. I mean, if you're locked in, you know what I'm saying, and you're saying, yo, this is the one thing that I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? And again, this is my opinion. We'll see at the end of the year what the fuck happened. You see what I'm saying? But if you're
Right.
locked into one thing, you're not pivoting from the base of what it is that you're doing, right? Exactly what fail fast, where fail fast comes in, is that everything you just said, right? I'm gonna build my website and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and then see, okay, well that brought me this. You see what I'm saying? And you have no choice but to fail. You're gonna fail somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So put yourself in that position to fail. So I think that does mean, you know what I'm saying, cold calling and doing this and doing that, going directly to the person, because then you're going to hear the feedback from the person, because at some point somebody's going to be like, why would I trust you? You don't even have a website. Ah, fuck. Okay. Well, now maybe I need to go build a website, right? But you might go out to the person and they say, again, to me, somebody said to me, why would I trust you? You only have 700 followers. So I was like, okay, cool. Now let me go turn around and let me work on my personal brand. You see what I'm saying? Let me post some more videos and some this and some that, because boom, that was a failure in a way.
Right.
And so, but again, I would have never known which direction to go necessarily until I put myself out there to my client and, you see what
Oh,
I'm saying, failed, you know?
that's interesting. Hold on. It's like this shit went off. Huh. When I think back on like a lot of like experience, like you know what I'm saying, like just as far as like starting a business, what do you think is more important? Doing like social media marketing or doing like on foot marketing, like just trying to meet people, do a little local networking and so forth and so on. Like which one has the most value? I know social media, of course, you can reach more people, but which one has the most value? That might be a loaded
Mm,
question, but
that is a loaded question because it depends on the business that you're doing.
yeah.
Cop out answer, right? But it does. It does depend on the business that you're doing, because sometimes, but honestly, for me personally, I'm still gonna lean on the social media side of things more than anything. Because sometimes you have to just use your network that you already have. You see what I'm saying? Like be a real person, go outside continuously, you know what I'm saying? Do things, right? And you shake somebody's hand, and you don't have to close a deal right then and there. But imagine, right? You're doing social media and you're doing decent at social media. You go outside, you shake somebody's hand, you say, yo, follow me on the gram. They follow you on the gram or LinkedIn or whatever makes the most sense for you. They follow you on there, and then they see the action of what it is that you're doing. They say, oh shit, this person does XYZ. Oh, you know what? Let me connect you with my boy because he actually needs that. You see what I'm saying? So, but again, for me, I'm leaning a little bit heavier into social media more than the in-person thing, because if you have the proof on your social media, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? That just answers a lot of people's questions. Again, sometimes people have fake proof, but shit, that still works. Scams are out there. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot
Yeah,
of people
everybody's
doing a
scamming,
lot
bro.
of craziness. Right. Everybody's scamming, bro. So, but you know what I'm saying? You can't scam with 700 followers. You know what I'm saying? Like, or
Yeah,
not the scams that we're talking about, right? But if you got a crazy following, you could scam. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that we're trying to scam, but again, if you're doing real honest business and you have a good little following, you meet somebody in the street, they follow you, they have more respect for you. You see what I'm saying?
for sure. Which is I mean, yeah, I know. Like, I mean, I did a stream about that. Like, as far as like how everybody's scamming. It's not scam like fraud, but like they're fronting. They're like faking it to get
Yes.
you know, to get in front of people, to get the audience excited, because people, believe it or not, I mean, although it's not something that I understand, but people fall for the numbers. People fall for the big, like, for
Yes.
example, that dude that, one of his questions was, because I'm a small company or I'm by myself, he's scared because of my size. But if I was to lie and say, well, I didn't bring up the fact that, hey, this is I'm starting brand new. I'm at the starting level. I still have a full-time job, and this is part-time. Like, if I didn't be honest about that, that question would even never come up. Like, yeah, I'm doing this full-time.
Right.
He doesn't know.
Right. Right. And again, sometimes it's not about the direct lying about if you're doing it full time or not. You know what I'm saying? You could say, hey, I'm fully invested into this. You know what I'm saying? This is my thing. This is what I do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I am the IT guy. I'm here. You see what I'm saying? Different choices of words. You don't always have to LIE. But yeah, 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, and we talked about this. I don't know how deep we got into it each time or whatever the case may be. But again, like freaking, Jay-Z, Kanye, this person, that person, they literally call the paparazzi on themselves. You see what I'm saying? Yo, I'm finna be here. Y'all boys pull up and take pictures. You see what I'm saying? And that
Yeah.
makes you seem bigger than what you really are. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. You want it to be in the public eye and this and this and that. But that's everything, bro. Everything around it. That's marketing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's marketing. You gotta sprinkle a little bit of BS into the real. Again, if you have no value behind that, people will eventually catch on and eventually get your ass. You see what I'm saying? But if you have real value behind, you know what I'm saying, a couple tricks, tips and tricks, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Again, calling the paparazzi on yourself. Um, what are other things? You know what I'm saying? Like playing with the bots and the
Yeah.
numbers
That should
and
be
and
killing
this
me.
and that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
That
bro. It is what it is.
the
Again, at this
Twitch
point, if I
botting.
was streaming, bro, I would tell you, bro. I would tell you to bot, bro. I would tell you to bot because again, it does no unless it's bread. You know what I'm saying? If it's crazy bread, no, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a little something, that's marketing. You know what I'm saying? That's your marketing budget. I just put $5 into the bots. So now I hop online. It looks like I got 10 people. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
now when real people come, they're gonna be like, whoa, 10 people's watching? Let me watch. So many people are sheep. Most people are
So
sheep. You
cheap.
see what I'm saying? They're just going to follow. Yeah, that's it. They just want to follow the crowd. So niggas don't really know what they want until you show them, hey, this is cool. This is interesting. This is desired. And you say, oh, that's desired? Well, now I want it. I need it. And that's everything. You know what I'm saying? That's not black people. That's not white people. That's not businessmen. That's not the average person.
It's
It is
human nature.
everybody. Everybody has that initial feeling. Some people will fight it better than others. Everybody has that initial feeling. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, again, when you was working with Buddy, you're like, yo, this is my boy. You know what I'm saying? And this person told me XYZ. Again, there's that familiarity is that I know you through somebody else, and somebody else said that they like you. So now I like you. They don't know you, but the other person said they like you, so now they like you. And so, it's everywhere around us. We as like the most honest people, like we just need to like tap into it a little bit more and leverage everything that we possibly have. We have the tools, I believe. But sometimes we're scared to, ask and say something.
Yeah. I feel in the marketing realm, I do understand like, you could use that as a marketing budget to elevate your business. I don't know. I feel like the organic growth or having an organic audience pays off dividends more than if you bought. But I don't know if there's a right or wrong way because look at somebody like Neon who bots. He's still making money off of it. His name is still popping.
Exactly.
But I also look at it in the realms of music where somebody who's like quote unquote industry plant versus somebody who's grinded for years was the only person I know, Russ. Like, you don't hear nothing about Russ in the mainstream media for real. Like you don't he his I don't I've never heard his music on the radio. He doesn't get Spotify playlisted or nothing like that. But when I went to his concert, that shit was packed out because he grinded out for
That's
years.
what I'm
Like,
saying. That's what I'm saying. That there's that balance for people like us. I believe that there's the balance of okay, cool. I might put a little bit of, extra sauce in this area, but again, I'm gonna still be working as if I'm underground, as if I'm this, as if I'm that. You see what I'm saying? Because similar to what you're saying, there's Lil Baby who couldn't do, what I'm saying, a thing. I think one of his things got canceled.
like an arena tour,
There was
like a tour.
another. Yeah, he had a tour that got canceled. There was another rapper too. There was a few rappers who,
A lot of
like you
these
said,
rappers are flopping
they
for
could
real.
not. Who's that?
A lot of them are flopping for real. They cannot sell out an arena or like a little club or nothing like that unless they
Exactly.
have like multiple names with them.
Exactly right. And then, like you said, then you have Russ, who has a real true fan base. You know what I'm saying? But again, even Russ, even if you take Russ at a certain point, he'll tell you he had to, what I'm saying, pay to play at a certain point in his career. You know what I'm saying? The big hits that everybody knows of him, you know what I'm saying? He paid to play a little bit. So that's it. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the the content behind it. You got to have the real shit to back it up. So that again, when somebody, even if somebody cuts through, again, right? We heard freaking Kendrick Lamar was botting, and we heard Drake was botting. You know what I'm saying? And then they stopped the bots,
Insane.
and their shit actually went down. You know what I'm saying? But okay, cool, their shit went down, but they're still okay. Cool, it's not 40 million, it's 20 million. Well, nigga, that's a lot still. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's because they have the real value behind the botting. You know what I'm saying? Behind the bullshit. So
I guess you can justify it. I think I have not crossed across that line yet. My mind, and I think it's all like perspective and mindset. My mindset hasn't allowed me to be like, you know what? I'm gonna bot. I'm gonna bot just so I can have 10 people watching. So I can have 15 people watching, and then the five sheep that comes in, they'll be like, oh, 10 people is already watching? Shit, I must be missing something else. I must be missing something. But in reality, it's all fake people. In my mind, it's like, it messes it up for me because I'm like, when I see people who are lit, like when I see somebody online and I'm like, damn, this person is lit. When I see Drake stream, I'm like, Drake is lit. Like we all know Drake is lit, but just to find out like he's not playing fair, and here I am trying to grind it out, be like, I just gotta wait. I just gotta stream every day. People are gonna start coming in. When these niggas are just straight up botting their stuff. Like I think I'm disillusioned is the word I'm looking for by what the reality is like for real. It's like, fuck it, let's just bot.
uh,
Just join them. but
yeah,
but man,
I
plug
feel
it
that.
in,
I
bro.
feel that.
Where you at, bro? What's your IG? What's your business? Where can they find you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So go ahead to Instagram, TikTok, all of them. Two eyes, be rich. I be rich. Just the letter B. I be rich. Um, and yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I'll be dropping some videos soon. You know what I'm saying? Sharing my take on, what's going on in the world and how you can, take that and benefit your own business, your own brand, your own things, right? We can learn everything, or we can learn something from, Kai Cenat, and we can all learn something from what the NBA is doing, and we can all learn something from Marty Supreme. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead. Like I said, I be rich, two eyes, be rich. Tap in, y'all boys.
For sure, for sure. If somebody wants to run a playbook to start, do you have like packages or is it just like a one set fee for everybody?
Yeah, it's a one set fee for the playbook. We're gonna have some introductory rates, you see what I'm saying? As just to make sure we can you know, again give the most value to the people and make sure, hey, I'm really fucking with this, blah 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 blah. But but yeah, you know what I'm saying? No levels right now. You know what I'm saying? The only other level that I do have available on my Instagram you can see is you know what I'm saying, you could pay to talk to me for an hour or some shit like that. It's just like a quick brand brief. You see what I'm saying? Again, I'm reaching out to people, giving them the brief for the free. But again, if you like what's going on, blah blah blah, definitely hit me up. Like I said, go to my tap that link in the bio, and we can make something shape. You feel me?
Interesting. So last question. Your cold reach out that you're doing now, if somebody say yes, they want it, you send them the playbook for free. When do you actually get paid?
Right. So yeah. So the first one that I send them is just a brief. You know what I'm saying? A brief or a mind map, or I'm saying, something like that. You could call it a mini playbook, because that mini playbook is, what I'm saying, 5 pages, 3 pages, 3 to 4 pages of, what I'm saying, real value, and it's in and out. You know what I'm saying? Now if they say, hey, I want the full play, you know what I'm saying? Give me all the plays, blah blah blah. Now we go to the next level, and that next level is when, what I'm saying, you pay. You know what I'm saying? We sit down, we talk. I interview you. Where do you really want to go? Where's your business heading? Da 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 da. And then I'm able to dive in even deeper. So again, that first one is just to show you a little bit of my mind, a little bit of the value that you could be having for your page. Then yeah, when you're ready to move on to the next level, then we could do that.
We should run a playbook, like a sample. Do you show samples on your Instagram? You should show samples of what it looks like. Um,
That's
of what
interesting.
somebody's
Oh, damn,
getting.
it's not on this computer. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could. I mean, you want me to show right now? I might could.
If you want to.
Right. Let me see something.
Well, wow. I ain't gonna lie, that little snack woke me up, boy. I was dying.
You're dying. Funny guy, man.
Bro, I was dying, bro. Yeah, bro. I need to start making cold calls, bro. But I feel like I need to fight. I need to fight my own demons. I feel like I need to get. My goal is to put out 10 videos, like 10 scripts first, before I make cold calls. Like, and I'm putting out like quality ones too. Like the shit I'm putting out is like stuff that could actually make impacts. Like even though it's free. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for impactful things. Like even my next one is gonna be directly QuickBooks, something that you could pay for. That's something that I could charge for, like directly automating QuickBooks. But I just want it to be like showing what's possible as much as possible, and even if it's not 10, maybe 5. And maybe I can send those links. When I call somebody, I add them on LinkedIn, or as the email, I forward them one of those videos. Here's what's possible. Here's what we can do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe post them on somewhere. I don't know. I have not fully fleshed out my needs and wants to do. So
that's where it's at too. And you know what I'm saying? My tweak, if I do need to ever go back and tweak something about, what I'm saying, what I got going on, is that right there is okay, this book isn't giving enough value, or I don't even want to say it's too much, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not settling with the person well, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? This mini playbook and the brief that I'm sending, that's again, when we're talking about our funnel, that's one of my areas of, I don't want to say contention, because that's the thing, is I just don't know if it's great or decent, or you know what I'm saying, whatever. Like I said, I only did one and he didn't even check it out, so you know what I'm saying.
Interesting.
I'm trying to get it over.
I want to know how I can make this better. Just as we live right now, I was thinking about how I can make this series better. Building a business on live. Because my main idea was to reflect on the decisions that I'm making and why. Like why I'm giving away these free templates. Or why I'm making the videos first instead of making cold calls. And I don't think there's a right answer, because, I don't know. I feel like I'm stuck.
Like he got a call though. I'll be honest. But let me hold on, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
I'm in now.
All right. Cool. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I did the official shit. I feel like I need to add some type of a nice little fancy dancy writing for this one, you know what I'm saying? Because my writing is a little crazy.
I mess with that.
I wanted it to feel that way. That's what I'm saying. I wanted it to feel a little. Yeah. I wanted it to feel very organic. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I want to add just a sprinkle of, you know what I'm saying? Boom. So that's it. Quick thoughts for Vlad Miami Cars. You know what I'm saying? I'm not rebranding. These are small shifts that are going to give big leverage. You know what I'm saying? This is just a quick scan for my boy Vlad. Boom. Right? So, you know what I'm saying? I took screenshots of him. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm just showing it again. This is what's working. You know what I'm saying? You got the trust with the people. So not only does this come with whatever I'm showing you right now, right? This is what you get, but then you also get a video explanation. So the same thing that I'm doing right now is exactly what I'm going to do for the next person's brand. You get a video, you get it on YouTube, and I break it down. You know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is how I'll break it down. Boom. So for you, Vlad, you know what I'm saying, this is what's working, right? You got good trust with the people, right? You're very confident on camera already. You have great energy, and the things that you say is very relatable. You know what I'm saying? You don't come across as gimmicky at all, and there's not really much of a sales pressure, which is good. Again, I like you, so I might want to come through and buy a car from you. Again, this is somebody that you'd enjoy talking to. You see what I'm saying? When you come through with your message, it sounds like honesty is the best policy, right? You're like, hey, work with me and I'll work with you. Don't come through lying and then I find out that your credit's really messed up. You tell these people up front. Again, which is the next one, right? Credit flexibility. Again, that's a good part of your messaging. You tell real life stories and give real life examples. I love that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same promise every single post. A strength that you have is being trilingual, which is crazy. English, Spanish, and Creole, you killing it. You know what I'm saying? You show real customers, sold cars, handshakes. And then you have a few videos that, are high reaching, right? They reach out to 60K, 50K, 40K people. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, this is beautiful. Again, this particular video, like I said, your smile, presence, and voice is all there. You're great on the camera already. Great energy every single time. You say, hey guys, let's chat. You see what I'm saying? This is one of the stories. Don't let credit be a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Blase, blase, blah. Same story. There's another one where you're talking about credit. Same story. Again, this is an example of you speaking Creole, but again, you have other videos where you're speaking Spanish, you're speaking English. It's beautiful. It's very crazy. Then you see right here, sold, sold, sold. I love those. And again, people are watching you. People are paying attention to you. 60K, 50K, 40K. It's impressive. That's something going on there, right? So here's where the opportunity comes in. You see what I'm saying? When we're talking about your first impression, I think playing with your bio would really help, right? Just a little bio upgrade would go a long way. You see what I'm saying? Like you can add keywords to your name and a couple story highlights for more depth. You see what I'm saying? So you already post on your story, but you don't have too many highlights, right? You have this one highlight. It would be nice if you, again, had a little bit more depth. Again, you played with the name to where, again, your name is already Vlad Miami Cars. That's beautiful. But you know what I'm saying? If you say car broker, in this part of it, that would be good. And then just structure this up because again, when you look like you know what you're doing on Instagram, then people treat you just a little bit better. You see what I'm saying? That's it. It's just nature. A little bit of production could help you. You see what I'm saying? Your audio would take you a long way. You see what I'm saying? So that's it. If you go to the store, I got two different options right here. You know what I'm saying? There's a $12 option. There's a $100 option. You could do either of those, and that'll take you to the sky. You can also do one of these, like I said, with the lighting. That would really help you, right? Because in this video, the sun is kind of sort of behind you, so the shadows are kind of in front of you. This one, a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, you utilize the sun the right way, but every so often, you fall into this, and just being consistent with that would be good. And then feed versus story. I feel like some of these posts that you have would actually be better as a story post to explain what's going on. And then the things that you post on the feed could be this right here, right? Going more into depth with your content, more context with the clients, right? I can't remember exactly what I said with that, but again, I was fresh, so I could relay whatever he was saying and say more context. Post sale videos, not just pictures, and do ongoing themes or frequently asked questions. That would really help with the depth or whatever the case may be. Now, if you want to take it the extra mile, here's something, right? You can think in series, right? If you have a consistent background and you have consistent drop days and repeatable themes / segments, that would go a long way, right? So I added somebody else who's in the car business. And again, this is consistency, consistency, consistency. If you even have just one of those, right, on your page and you do that every Monday, that's going to go crazy for you. Longer attention. If you really sit down with your story time, that would be great, right? I've seen your story times. They're great. If you make it into a thing where it's like, ooh, Vlad story time, People are gonna love that. You know what I'm saying? Full deal breakdowns. What's your process and the process, real walkthrough process? So you talk about your deals, but I want to know what's going on behind the scenes and how you do it and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And if you get a little bit more personal, you could is if you want to go the extra mile, right? Show yourself, show your personal life, show the things that you like. You know what I'm saying? And here's my lifestyle, and then here's me closing the deal. Both of them, you know what I'm saying? Embed the sales with the life story. Again, I like you, so I'm gonna buy from you. But who are you? You know what I mean? And so this is what it's going to unlock for you. You see what I'm saying? People are gonna buy fast. You might become the TV. You're not gonna have any confusion ever, and you're gonna have more community behind you. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's it. When people trust you, the leads are going to the leads come through. They trust you a little bit deeper, so they're gonna make quicker decisions, and they're gonna come in warmer because they're gonna feel like they know you. Clear a signal. You can focus on what matters. You reinforce your authority online, and you're gonna have more engagement, which that kind of goes back and forth, right? More engagement means more authority. More authority means more engagement. So you could become more watchable, right? You become a TV. Maybe I'm just watching Vlad just to watch him right now, right? Not just because I need a car, but because I enjoy watching him. But then, hey, damn it, I need a car. Let me go hit Vlad up. You see what I'm saying? So connect before they're ready to buy. Your videos are gonna sell for you. It's gonna feel episodic, not disposable. I'm not gonna just be like, okay, cool, that one video. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna be hooked onto you. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, building community. People want to stop and listen. Inside jokes, familiarity. People stay connected before and after buying. So that means that you're gonna have more referrals, more repeat clients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what some of these things kind of sort of unlocks for you. Again, just taking it a little bit further or going that extra mile, that's gonna make big changes for you in your business. So, yeah, for you, you know what I'm saying. Next steps. Now, this is where I want to play with a little bit. Not 100% sure how to really say, hey, you know what I'm saying. Let's go deeper. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Here's what a full playbook would really unlock, right? This right here was something quick. I would love to, sit down, talk with you about your goals, your vision for your brand, your page, your this, your that, and then create a full playbook based on your words, not just mine, and kind of, put them together. You see what I'm saying? So today you saw a mini playbook. This is what everything that the full playbook is going to unlock. And you know what I'm saying? Again, this is designed to fit your time, not add to it. So let's go. Let's see what's going on here.
Nice. Like
Something
it.
like that. Like I said, I gotta play with the little closing a little bit more. But yeah, man, this is the book though. This is definitely the book.
I love it. It's nice. It's nice. I don't know if you have price transparency. How much is the full playbook? Or is that something that they have to find
Do I
out
have
once they
price
get
stress?
it? I mean, there's no right answer, It could be private
Yeah. So wait,
or
what's your question
range.
again? There's a range. The range, it'll range. It's under 1,000 for sure. You see what I'm saying? It'll range from 3 to 8. You see what I'm saying? Something like that. Like I say, you in an introductory level, you might could see 300 the first 5 people. You know what I'm saying? The first 3 people might could see 300. When we start getting rolling, and again, we get those. Hey, this would be a little bit better. This a little bit tweaks, and we keep reinforcing what's going well. Then definitely, I want to land at the playbook being around $600. That's around where I want it to be. Boom, playbook off the top, 600, no questions. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's the full, like I said, the full playbook. That again, that comes with, like I said, a content. This is everything that comes. You know what I'm saying? Content calendar. It's very personalized because again, I asked you the questions, so it's gonna be reiterating what you're telling me. We could get into multi platforms. It's up to you. So that means YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, all those long term momentum, clear themes. That's a big thing. So, you know what I'm saying? You're at home base for attention, right? How to repeat what's working already for you. And, you know what I'm saying? Talking about where it all pays off. Again, I cannot close the deals for you, but I can get those people so warm that it should be easy to come through and have them as a client. And that
Nice.
part is on you, but the warmness is on us together.
What's that content calendar looks like? Is that you just give them like titles, or are you giving them like a mini script as well, or is it just like a date when they should post?
Yeah, it wouldn't so much be scripts. It would be more so again like concepts that would make sense. You see what I'm saying? So like, okay, every Monday, based on what you told me, you might want to post this, and then every Tuesday and this, da da da. I almost basically create some type of campaign for you in a way. Again, it's very bird's eye, and that's why again, if you want to take it to the next level and you want to go to scripts and you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to talk once a week, and then we could take it to the next level. But definitely it's very bird's eye view of like, okay, cool. Let me fit my content into these boxes for the next 30, 60, 90 days. Again, every person will be a little bit different. Nobody would pass. Now I can't see 90 days being passed. Most people will do 30 to 60, most people.
Sheesh. I appreciate your time. This was, helpful to understand as well, and I'm sure, if it could probably reuse this if somebody asking you, what you're doing, there might be some value in there as well.
Absolutely. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I chop it up. You know what I'm saying, and maybe repost it myself. You feel me?
But yeah, if you need me to download it and send it to you, I don't know if you recorded it, I can do that as well, because I saved the VODs. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I'll let you know when I'm ready to play with some shit. You feel me?
yeah, for sure. All right, brother. Thank you for coming through. Thank you all for watching. I don't know if you have any last message. I'll leave the last message to you.
Oh.
Brrrr. Boom, 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 boom. All right, thank you all for watching.